joining us now on the MegaCast, let's bring in George Leichtweis. He's the owner of Modern Skate and Surf. How have you been doing in your business over this past year?
Well, it's been a real challenge, to be honest with you. We just got over 2008 crash. It took probably almost 8 years to get over, and started seeing an uptick in 2018, 19. So 2020 was going to be my year, man. It was going to be a good year. Started off pretty good January, February. Everything was ticking up, and then boom, March came along, and you got to close down. So it became a huge challenge. We were closed for over 3 months, and if we would have been closed till the end of the year, I would have lost the building and the business and everything. However, we were lucky enough to get open in the summertime and reopened partially, and was able to save the business and borrow a bunch of money from the government and continue on.
Well, and let's hope too, though, that going forward, because we do know that as we're emerging into 2021, so many people are now eager to get out and to enjoy some of the things that we used to take for granted. So do you anticipate it's going to at least maybe be a busy summer for you?
I believe so. What happened last year, once we got reopened, luckily I kept an eye on what the governor said every other month. And when she came out and she opened golf courses up, at the end of the day, I had to go read her speech, and I was looking for my loophole, and it said, and bike repair shops. And I sell electric bikes, and I'm like, I repair them. So I'm a bike repair shop. I'm opening. And obviously I sell skateboards and rollerblades and roller skates and scooters and things like that. But I also sell bikes, and that was my loophole to get open with limited number of customers. And we got back open, and then within a month the internet took off, and I was selling stuff all over the country because everybody wanted to have fun, and I sell fun, and people were bored with walking around the block, so they're like, I want to roller skate again, and I want to rollerblade, and it just kind of went off for a minute online for a couple of months. And then we started opening up the state a little bit more, and we rolled into fall and holiday, and the governor canceled all high school sports. So there was no soccer, no hockey, no basketball, baseball, football. So what can you do? We have a very large indoor skate park here. It's the third largest indoor skate park in America. It's over 60,000 square feet. So over an acre of ramps indoor. And the building's actually so big, it's in both Royal Oak and Madison Heights. And so we were able to accommodate a decent number of people, of course, limited by the state. Each month it changed, and gave them some recreational activity that they could do indoors on bad weather days. And then, of course, you can use a lot of that equipment outside.
Yeah, and that's a good combination right there. And I will say, George, I love your line. I sell fun.
Yes, and people want to have fun now. And I think it's going to carry over to this summer, because it was a worldwide phenomena with roller skates and rollerblades, and that people wanted to get back outside again and do something active, and they weren't allowed to do any team sports. So, and a lot of families wanted to do things with their kids, and all the kids like to roller skate and rollerblade and skateboard and those things. So the parents were getting together with their families, which I thought was a great byproduct of the pandemic. Was families were working together and playing together, and it kind of brought the families back together a bit.
I do like that. With us right now on the MegaCast, George Leichtweis. He's the owner of Modern Skate and Surf. And sometimes, too, when you talk about inline skating, we think rollerblades. And they were so popular, 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
Has the pandemic brought some of those old school sports kind of back to make them popular again?
It absolutely has, and it's a pleasant surprise to me, because I was the third store in the world ever to sell rollerblade back in 1980. I've been in business since '79, and I was a hockey player from Detroit, and this guy had these hockey-looking skates with wheels on them, and I strapped them on and skated around a bit. I bought 24 pair in 1980. Sold them to the East Lansing High hockey team. They went 45-3, almost won the state championship because they were in better shape than everybody. And then it became family fun and fitness. And the 90s were good to me because we sold tons and tons of rollerblades, like you said, 20 years ago or so. And what's happened is those kids from the 90s are now parents of kids, and they want to show their kids how good they used to be, so they were coming back in and getting another pair of blades with their kids and stuff like that. And it was kind of fun to see. And then somebody was on TikTok roller skating on some suede roller skates, and boom, all of a sudden every female in America wanted to roller skate again. And we've been selling roller skates since day one, because Detroit's a big roller skate town. And when I started, there was over 35 roller rinks in the whole Detroit metropolitan area. Now there's about 15 or so, and but still there's a real active roller skate community, and that's good exercise, indoor or outdoor. And there's been a resurgence of both, and I believe in all these things. We teach rollerblading, roller skating, skateboarding, scootering, all those things. We teach it all here so people can do it safely. And we just believe it in as a good exercise for people.
I do remember my husband has a skateboard, and I think he fell off like years before I met him, and then he got injured, so it kind of sat in the garage. And then when we got a Cocker Spaniel, to tire the dog out, he would have her pull him around the neighborhood. Nice. Now we have another rescue dog, and she's a huge, like 70-pound, like lab mix, and that dog is like, I'm not pulling you anywhere. She just sits like, no, not going down that road with you. So it is fun to kind of see these old school events kind of come back once again. But George, if I can ask you, you mentioned electric bikes. We live on the West Bloomfield Trail, and I've been seeing more and more of those.
Yes. Now it's funny because I'm older now, of course, and I had my knee replaced and went through that whole situation. And I was visiting a former manager of mine out in Newport Beach, California. And he says, you want to go for a bike ride? And I'm like, I don't think I can ride a bike, because I was only 4.5 months out. And he says, no, I got these electric bikes. And I was able to ride up and down hills and everything with pedal assist, or with the triggering it, and still doing some pedaling. And originally I thought, electric bikes, that's for lazy people. And I'm like, no, it got me back on a bike, and then I've actually sold some to some elderly couples that used to ride bikes all the time together. And the one guy's wife got sick and couldn't keep up with him anymore. And he got her an electric bike. He still rides his regular bike, and she can keep up with him now, because anytime she needs a little assistance, it works for her. So I find it as a way to get more people back on bikes and get some more exercise.
I do like that. How does it work though? Do you plug it in and charge it?
Yeah, you charge it each day. You pretty much, you can ride it at night. It'll go 35 miles without a charge, without having to recharge it, if you just trigger it, But if you pedal assist or just pedal sometimes, it'll go much further than that. And I've gone on the slow roll downtown Detroit with it. And actually, a little tip is, you park at the MGM casino, because it's free parking. You ride your bike all the way down to Eastern Market. Go on the slow roll, which is a pretty long run with police escort, and then rode the Riverwalk all the way back to MGM, and still had 3 out of 5 bars of electricity, battery power on that thing. And they're actually very functional. You can actually just regularly pedal it like a regular bike, or you can do what they call pedal assist, where you got gears 1 through 5, and as you pedal, it'll actually help move you along. And then, or you could just pull the trigger and actually ride it like an electric vehicle. So it's and they're really, they're kind of expensive. But then again, I've got some BMX bike riders that come in this park with $4,000 bikes. So these bikes are started about $1,700 and go to $3,000 or so. But they're a great way to get people back on bicycles and do some exercise.
So with that, I remember last year around this time, you couldn't find a bike. They were sold out everywhere. So do you anticipate all those people that bought their bikes last year, are they tired of them, or is that going to continue into the summer?
No, I think we're going to have another good year. I had people driving up from Cleveland to buy bikes from me, and because they couldn't find them, and I think there's still a shortage of all these products that I sell. The biggest struggle I have is to get enough product in for the people that want it and satisfy them. The governor opened up roller rinks about 6 weeks ago, and they've been closed literally for a year. And so all of a sudden people are coming out of the woodwork to skate indoors, and that's been a big business. But getting enough product in for the people that want it has been a challenge. Same with the bikes. From what I understand, hunting, camping, fishing equipment, that kind of stuff has been sold out because everybody wants to get outside and get some fresh air. But yeah, it's been a little bit of a phenomena. And what I found is that in every category, I have one manager. His whole job is to find product because the whole supply chain in the United States has been stopped at one point in time in the last year. And so there's things being made, but then you got to get it here and go through customs and deal with the COVID protocols and all that to get product in your store. But it's really picked up, and I think it's going to be another good year.
Yeah, the supply chain has been really crazy over the past year. George Leichtweis with us here on the MegaCast. He's the owner of Modern Skate and Surf. And with that, tell us more about your skate park. It's open right now?
It is open. Last summer, we were limited originally to 10 people, and then it went to 20. Then it went to 50, then it went to 250, and then it went back down to 50. Now we're at I think we're at 300 with the size of the place we got. Now we allowed 300. And we generally don't get 300 people, maybe in the wintertime or for special events, which I have not done a special event in over a year and a half now. And we're hoping that we can open up and start doing some special event things in here where we can draw a bigger crowd, because we've had international audiences come here, and we've had qualifiers for the X Games. We've had big national and international contests. We had the Scooter World Championships here. We've done a lot of big events because it is a huge place and it can accommodate a lot of people.
And so with that too, though, we know in Detroit, they've been opening up some of these outdoor skate parks. Does that help attract people to the sport?
It does. And as a matter of fact, I've been involved in opening at least a dozen public skate parks. And because I think you should be able to skate for free, just like you can play basketball or tennis. But if you want to come indoor in the wintertime and have a roof over your head and some lights on and some heat, it costs a couple of bucks, but we try to make it reasonable. But the public parks, what it does is it gives more accessibility to a lot of different people in different areas of town. Not everybody can make it across town to get to this place, for example. And they've got a lot of good things going on in downtown Detroit. I know the Tony Hawk Foundation and Tony Hawk himself has been very involved and with myself in building some public skate parks in Detroit.
I love that because it really is a community, isn't it?
It is, and you know it's going to actually be in the Olympics this year for the first time in Japan, and I think you're going to find that people are going to gravitate to that sport, because the beauty of skateboarding is you don't need a team of 9 or 10 people like baseball, or 11 people like football, 5 in basketball. You can play one-on-one in basketball, but you can actually skate by yourself, or you can skate with your friends. You can go to contests if you like contests. You can go to the demo if you don't like contests. And there's a lot of versatility to it. And it teaches you a lot of things about yourself. It'll teach you perseverance, because you have to fail many times in order to succeed on learning that trick, which I think your husband found out way back when. And, you know, and then you have to pick yourself up and dust yourself off, and it teaches you perseverance. So all these quote unquote extreme sports are very educational for your own personal well-being, and actually creates a good adult as they continue to grow.
Well, we so appreciate having you with us. I will say there's a fear factor involved in some of these sports, so it's about facing your fear as well. George Leichtweis with us. He's the owner of Modern Skate and Surf.